to our Midwest dry van hiring event here at Decker Truckline. My name is Jessie. I've been with Decker for, well, since 2010. So July 2010, when we opened up our Missoula, Montana terminal, is when I started. And then joining me today is both Tanya and Anna out of Iowa area. Well, Kansas City, Iowa as well. And so, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give them the floor. Tanya, start off and give us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Tanya, and I joined Decker a little close to, in August, it'll be about 4 years that I joined, starting out processing applications before I moved into recruiting. It's been a great move. I love working with the drivers, and you never know what you're going to have every day. Everything's different. So go ahead, Anna.
That is true, what Tanya said. I've been at Decker for just under 4 years. I think in July it will be 4 years. And Tanya was my processor when I first started. So all of us have been together for almost 4 years. Pretty stinking awesome. And like Tanya, one of the things I love is it's not a dull or boring moment. Anytime you pick up the phone, you just never know who you're gonna encounter, and that just keeps things fresh. And what do we not love? And we get to talk to drivers all day, and that's pretty fun. So yeah, love working in recruiting. Jessie, yeah, good times. 4 years.
All right. Yep. Tanya actually processed applications for me as well when she first started. So you start to build a relationship with everybody.
I know. We are a great team.
Start to have know what they can do and how quickly they can do it, and start to relying on them. So yeah, awesome. So thank you again for joining us today. We're going to be talking about our Midwest dry van position. This is a semi-dedicated position. And I don't want the Midwest part to fool you, because there are some areas in the Southeast, which we'll discuss here in just a little bit, but there are some areas in the Southeast that we also hire from. Yeah, just like that. All right, so first off, let's dive into the money, because that's usually the first question that I get. Pay is based off of experience, and it's going to start off with the assumption that you have experience, and that's going to be at 48 cents a mile, 48 to 58 cents a mile to start. Now, again, it is based off of your experience level, so depending on how much you have, I'd be able to give you a more accurate quote. If you want to know specifically, you can either get a hold of us at 888-668-0698, or you can apply directly online at drivedecker.com. So that's the direct application link. But talking to one of the recruiters will be able to kind of hone in on what we'll be able to pay you as a specific rate of pay. We are guaranteed a minimum of $1,000 a week. So we'll go into all the specifics there, what it takes to get that $1,000 minimum. And remember that is a minimum. That is kind of a safety net there for you. And most of our drivers are making above that. It's just making sure that you're getting your miles and running hard and making yourself available to keep going. Now, let's see, the pay per mile, it does include 10 cents per mile. That is per diem. And that is another question that I'm asked quite often. So remember, whether you're getting the mileage pay or you're getting the guarantee pay, the per diem is going to be included based off of the miles that you ran. If you have questions about that, again, feel free to ask. But the pay per mile, so if, for instance, if you ran 2,500 miles for the week, $250 is going to be per diem and therefore not taxed, which gives you a little bit more take home each and every week, and we love that. So if you're getting the $1,000, you subtract that amount from that $1,000 guarantee. Otherwise, it's going to be whatever the better of the two are. But there's a whole lot more into that, and we'll talk about qualifications. And I know I gave you some pay, but there are other pay options based off of experience and, you know, how long you've had your CDL and all of that stuff. So I'm just going to roll it on over to Anna and give her the floor. Let's hear it. I'd like qualifications, requirements, that stuff.
Well, one of the things that I like to tell drivers is that they are paid on a W-2. It's not a 1099. That just really seems to put them at ease, and knowing that they can budget is really, really nice. Just to have that peace of mind out there. Because honestly, the requirements to get your basic guaranteed pay, minimum pay, doesn't matter which of those you will be getting. The requirements are so easy and are already things that you as a professional driver are already doing because you're a professional driver. The first one is to be able to be available for dispatch all week. Available for dispatch all week. That is something that you should have had a conversation when you first joined the Decker Truck Line, met with your dispatcher, and got a kind of an idea of what it is that your schedule should look like, what's your home time. And the unspoken is that you would be out for 5 consecutive days in a row. And then when your home time lands, it could be any day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or the weekend. That is up to you and your dispatcher. So be available for dispatch the entire week. Another one is no load refusal. On that point, we are very good about giving everybody a copy of the job description. When a driver comes to orientation, again, they talk with their dispatcher. They know exactly what this job will entail, their stomping ground, what the requirements look like. So no load refusals should be pretty easy. And as a driver, you want to get loads so you can get paid and make a good living. So again, kind of a no-brainer. The third one is turn in your paperwork, turn it in on time. This one has made that so easy for you. We have in-cab scanners. We've got the TransFlow app that you can take pictures on your phone. We just went from Qualcomm to GeoTab through TransFlow, and so you can also take a picture with your tablet, which is located in the truck. So many ways to get your paperwork turned in on time, which again, as a professional driver, you're going to be turning your paperwork in just so you can get paid. That's, again, a no-brainer. The other one that is very, very important to just about everyone here at Decker, and one of the reasons why we have such consistent, dependable freight is 100% on-time delivery. In every division, the customers have come to know that Decker drivers really care about being on time. On time really is on time. On time is late, and late is unacceptable. So when it comes to 100% on-time delivery, again, that is something that our drivers have as a goal just because they're quality drivers. The fifth one would be, let me look, no preventable driver service failures, no accidents, preventable or unpreventable. And honestly, I don't know any driver who wakes up and says, oh, I can't wait to get some CSA points today or have an accident, preventable or unpreventable, or any kind of other, I don't know. I just really, our drivers are safe. So that is, again, something that as a quality driver, a safe driver, you're not going to try to do that. So you're going to avoid those things. No accidents, no tickets, no CSA points, kind of an easy requirement. So when it comes to those, I think I hit them all. Ladies, did I hit on all of the? I think I did.
Yeah,
anyway,
those 6 requirements are pretty basic, so absolutely.
And if you meet all of those basic requirements, you're going to get that minimum pay or guaranteed pay every week. And as Jesse said earlier, the greater is what you will get, either your cents per mile or you'll get the minimum pay, guaranteed pay. The other thing is, if the driver meets those requirements quarter 70% of the time, then your sign-on bonus increases, which is wonderful. The sign-on bonus is for our new drivers, new hires only. It's $5,000 and it's paid out quarterly. So the minimum there is $1,250 per quarter. But again, if you're meeting your basic requirements, the potential to make more than that is so easy. And I think the last email I read was that on average, our drivers are making $250 above and beyond. Did I get that correct, ladies?
Yeah, you want to go ahead and explain what it is that gets them that extra $250 above and beyond the sign-on bonus, the mileage requirement?
the mileage requirements, I think that, oh goodness, I don't have that right in front of me. So if you have that off the top of your head, each division is different. It's 20. Okay, Jesse,
so
you better
as
take
long
that one
as
on.
you're meeting, like Anna said, with those requirements, let's show those requirements one more time for you. But as long as you're meeting these basic requirements for the driving position, these 6 requirements that she went through, at least 70% of the time, then you qualify for that $12.50. But in order to qualify over and above that, you'll need to run a minimum of 25,000 miles for the quarter. Again, that's 25,000 miles for the quarter. And everything
20,
over and
25.
above.
Got it.
Yeah, 25. So everything over and above is going to be that 5 cents per mile. We'll pay an additional 5 cents per mile on all those miles. But yeah, the numbers that Anna was giving you, of what was it, 250, I think, on average, is what we were seeing for that additional payout. Again, each quarter.
By doing your job, above and beyond your pay. It's meant to like.
Exactly. Basic requirements, and you get that extra. So those are the basic hiring or basic requirements in order to qualify for the guaranteed pay. Otherwise, again, you'd be bounced back to that cents per mile or bounced up to that cents per mile, depending on the miles that you ran. And then, of course, that guaranteed accelerated sign-on bonus has that opportunity to grow along with you as well. Anything else that I'm missing on those two, Anna? I think you've covered them both.
Good. I was thinking 20,000, so you're right. The 25 makes much more sense. So, yeah, next time. But great ways to make extra money. Yeah, go ahead.
Exactly. Nope, that's exactly what I was going to say. Great ways to increase your income and see a boost there. But there's a lot more other ways. Go ahead, Tanya. Why don't you just dive in on a couple of the bonuses that we've got going on?
Yeah, there we go. Another way that they can make money is the Scorecard Bonus every month. Is paid out at the 15th of every month as possible, based on your scorecard balance for the previous month. The scorecard is based on your fuel compliance, idle time, preventable accidents, CSA violations, service failures, claims, and miles. So once you hit all those, your fuel compliance, you just have to make sure that we have planners that set up different fuel stops for the whole trip that you're making. And they go and they look at the fuel prices for every truck stop on that route and which one's going to be cheaper. The more times that you stop at those stops, and then you can, the more points you get for yourself. Then idle time, really shouldn't be much idle time at all since we have APU units on the trucks. If your truck's not moving, shut it off. It saves your fuel, and it saves your idle time and earns you points. So, and like, again, you don't want to have any CSI violations. Nobody wants that. We don't, you don't. That does hurt the driver. So this is a great way to earn. They can earn up to an extra 4 cents per mile a month more with this scorecard bonus.
Correct.
My next bonus that I like the most is the referral bonus.
Oh, me too.
That's my favorite. It's extra money in your pocket for just referring somebody and telling another driver about the great experiences that you have for Decker and with Decker. Make sure that driver that you're talking to goes to our drivers, but make sure that they have you get the Decker driver's name or at least their truck number, never the trailer number, because they never have the same trailers.
Right.
Trailer number doesn't work. But for your first 3 hired, I have one coming on Monday that is a referral. So for the first 3 hired referrals, you get $1,500 per driver. That is so awesome. All of the payments are paid out within the first 90 days. And then for your 4 and 5, you get $2,000. 6 and above, you get $2,500 each. So, and then to be qualified for the grand prize at the end of the year, you have to have at least 5 referrals, and then you can qualify for that cash bonus of another $2,500. So just easy money in your pocket. You just have to go and talk to people and be sociable.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because that's becoming popular again.
Mask or no mask, talk to a driver.
Yeah, so there are so many incentives that we have, not only with the referral bonus that she was talking about, actually diving in, before I even transition back to some of those other bonuses, Tanya, do you want to go over some of the referral incentives? Because I do know, I mean, obviously there's quite a bit.
Yeah, for your one referred hired driver, you get a personalized referral team bonus card or team business cards and a Decker t-shirt. I think it's a referral t-shirt, isn't it? That
it is.
They referred. I want to see one of those t-shirts. For your 3 hired drivers, you get a $100 Flying J gift card and a Decker stainless steel tumbler, kind of like this one. For your 5 hired referrals, you do get a jacket, a team member jacket from Decker. There's also quarterly prize drawings where you can either choose a laptop or $1,000 cash. Me personally, I choose cash. The drawings, like I said, are quarterly, so it just depends on who is in the running for that and how many drivers. I love that one with Jesus on how.
I do too. I thought the picture of the shirt was on here, so I figured I'd try it, but I don't see it.
Yeah.
Jesus was one of our hiring kings with the amount of drivers he won that year.
There he is. Yeah.
It was.
There he is.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
But with
indeed.
Then, like I said, at the end, they have the grand prize at the end of the year with having the minimum of 5 referrals. That $2,500 cash. Everybody likes cash.
Mm-hmm. No denying at all. So there are quite a few.
With that cash, you can make a little quick vacation somewhere, weekend vacation.
Right.
Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah, true. Let's see, when Jesus, the individual that we were showing you there, when he won the driver referral program that year, he actually made all of that money in the last quarter, and it was $11,000.
A lot of money.
And $11,000 worth of bonuses, and that was only referral bonuses, because like Tanya said, and I'll just let her give the floor right back to her, but like she said with the scorecard, that's 4 cents just for the scorecard bonus, but it's encompassing all of your miles that have been completed for the month, not just those. Plus, we also have the Smart Drive bonus.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and anytime you have a clean DOT inspection, you get a $50 bonus on that as well. So it's great and important that you do your pre and post-trip inspections.
Very.
Yeah, and as you can see here, this is the scorecard kind of broken down, that 4 cents a mile. That extra penny per mile here, that's going to be on all the miles if your Smart Drive, which is a combination of your inward and outward facing event recorders, if all of those features, the safety features that are in the truck, are 20 points or less, then you'll get that bonus of a penny per mile on all of them. That Smart Drive bonus is, when we first started Smart Drive, we thought, now the score is big, because the smaller it is, the better.
Right.
It was a big score, and it wasn't that we were, CSA ratings and things like that were really good, but habits were hard to break, like following too close, or the speed gauge, things like that they might not have gotten. An individual might not have gotten a violation or a ticket for, but we had those habits in place, and just one slip could have caused an accident. So the Smart Drive has really helped to improve some of our poor habits, and then emphasize some of the positives in all of that. But with that Smart Drive score, with 20 points or less, you get that extra penny per mile. last month, and they haven't released the numbers yet, well, I'm going to tell you that we had over 70 perfect scores on the scorecard itself.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And our Smart Drive scored. Yes, and the Smart Drive score just blow your mind with the number of people that scored 0, which is perfect.
I just had a driver yesterday tell me that he got his first perfect scorecard, and he was so excited. And that is a huge goal for the drivers to work for. And once they get that, they know they can get it, and it's achievable. And it is achievable because drivers do it every month. So I mean, it's important, especially if you want that extra money in your pocket.
We have a handful of drivers that get it every single month, consistently on that 1,000 points for the scorecard, and then obviously for that Smart Drive. But you know, one of our other bonuses, which we don't spend a whole lot of time talking about, but it really builds up to a major bonus of ours, is our Driver of the Month program. So our Driver of the Month program is a reflection of both the Smart Drive and the scorecard bonus. So if you're getting, and it's one of the requirements is not to have a perfect score in both cases. However, because the number of drivers that we have that do achieve a perfect score, you pretty much have to get it in order to get a Driver of the Month for that division. So we have 6 divisions, and of those divisions, we'll have 1 Driver of the Month. We can have nominees based off of the number of individuals within that fleet, but just 1 Driver of the Month. And you can only earn Driver of the Month 1 time throughout the year, but it places you in an opportunity to get Driver of the Year. I should probably back up, because Driver of the Month, you get a $100 $100 Walmart gift card and a $50 gift card to our Decker store. So you have that opportunity. The nominees, just side note, they get a $50 Walmart gift card and a gift from the Decker store as well. But with the Driver of the Month being obviously an accolade that we love to have, it also places you for Driver of the Year. So from the Driver of the Month, the Driver of the Years are chosen. Remember, it's only 6 divisions that we have we would choose from. So you get Driver of the Year, you get a $3,000 bonus for Driver of the Year. But from Driver of the Year, we choose our Grand Champion. And our Grand Champion gets $15,000
a lot
in
of money.
cash. And like Tanya said, who doesn't love money? I mean, we do.
Yeah.
So quite a bit there.
Yeah, being safe.
I think we need to have a Recruiter of the
Year. Recruiter of the Month.
I don't know if they'll go for that.
Awesome.
I don't think they will either.
Those are just some of the extra bonuses. There's more. Tanya mentioned the clean inspection pay, but there's other accessorals. Anna, go ahead, dive into some of those accessoral pays.
I wanted to piggyback on what you were saying. I think that I am saving lives by sitting behind a desk. There's a reason why recruiters are not nominated. Yes, you're correct. There are a lot of ancillary pay, accessorial pay, however you want to look at it. The list is located on every one of the job descriptions. So yes, there is East Coast pay, there is short haul pay, stop pay. If for some reason they add additional stops to your load, you will see that when you get your pre-planned assignment, and you can make sure that the extra pay is going to be reflected, especially when you do get paid. Is that something that you're scanning and turning in the extra pay for stop pay? And that's $15 every additional stop. We do have hazmat pay. Keep in mind, we do not require any endorsements, but if you as a driver happen to have some endorsements and there just happens to be a load that requires some of those things, if and when you choose to accept one of those loads, make sure that that pay is reflected on your pay stub. There's also trailer washout pay. That one, I think, just went from $15 to $20. That is something that needs to be, again, approved in advance. And drivers should not be needing to, it's not necessary for the drivers to wash out the trailers. But if it does come to be, then there will be compensation for that as well. It's a case-by-case scenario with the trailer washout pay. There is detention pay, and Decker tries super hard to make sure that drivers get detention pay regardless of whether or not the shipper or receiver will pay us. And it does start 2 hours after the fact. Again, one of the things that we seriously encourage is that drivers have 100% on-time delivery. So if you, the driver, are doing your job, you're there on time, hurry up and wait, and it gets to 2 hours, then we will be paying you $15 per hour after that, all the way up to $150. Now, of course, if it gets more than $150, then there's a bigger issue coming into play, and that needs to be taken care of. Also, we have layover pay. That is $75 for the first 24 hours. And of course, it has to be no fault of your own. And every 24 hours after that is an additional $100. So again, if it gets to day 3, there's a bigger problem and something needs to be taken care of. Breakdown pay was the one I was thinking of next. That does start at $100 for the first day, $150 for the second day. After that, the third day, $200. And again, if you're at breakdown and on your third day, bigger problem. Something needs to be taken into consideration there. We do have our scales paid. Part of the Decker dedicated app through TransFlow includes the CAT scale app link, whatever you want to call it. But Decker pays for your scales, so there should be no reason why your driver is getting pulled over and getting fined or any kind of for having his load not weigh what it should weigh. So we pay for it. Get your scales taken care of. The tolls, we also take care of your tolls. The K-Tag, the Easy Pass, the Pre-Pass. I couldn't think of Pre-Pass. So we do take care of those. The lumpers are paid. Again, you as the driver, your job is to drive. Get there on time. It's not your job to load and unload. And if it says something to that effect on your pre-plan, then you need to double check and see what that looks like, because the lumpers should be taken care of and paid for in advance. We do have the fuel card. It's the COM data. And right now we have upgraded that fuel card so that one side is your pay and it's just preloaded to your card every Friday. We do send you out an email, payroll sends out an email on Thursdays letting you know what your settlement will look like. Friday, it magically shows up on one side of your card. The other side is for your fuel. So your card is serving dual purpose and comes in really handy. And I think the only thing that truck wash was one of the other. There are free truck washes for all of our drivers at any of our terminals anytime you want, but there's also one free truck wash per month.
It's only Missoula and Fort Dodge that has the truck wash. Bessemer does not have a truck wash.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So,
I just learned that.
Yeah, kind of fun to know that we represent. We have some beautiful trucks. We want to make sure that our trucks look good and that we are, show some pride in our ride. Did I miss one, ladies? Or 2 or 3? I'm sure there's more.
There's quite a few out there. So some of those are hidden benefits, but there's quite a few out there that you can take advantage of for those incentives. We just make sure that we can keep you well taken care of, allow you to be heard when it comes to your needs. And I guess speaking of accessory pay, we've got, we'll get to the equipment here in just a minute, because I know a lot of you guys are waiting for the equipment, because who doesn't like to talk about that? Yes. Especially when we have what we do have for all of it. But before we do, Anna, do you want to go ahead and just give us a little bit of detail about this specific position that we're talking about, this Midwest drive-in?
The Midwest drive-in opportunity is something that we've been looking forward to providing for our drivers for quite some time. And we, in the past, had refrigerated and flatbed, some dedicated, but the drive-in has been extremely popular. They're going to be semi-dedicated to a pet care supplier, and those pet care products should be, I think it's 100% drop and hook. And then again, we do have very consistent freight dependable freight in those areas. But for some reason, if the dry pet care loads for something changes, we have so many extra loads and refrigerated opportunities. So there should never be a downtime for these dry van drivers. There's always going to be some kind of consistent, dependable freight for you to take. Was there something else that you wanted me to touch on there, Jesse?
Well, we can talk about the miles and stuff, but let's talk about the hiring area first, so that we can kind of hone in on whether or not this is a weekly home time for you or an every 2 weeks type home time. Yeah, so that's basically what I want to start off there. We'll narrow down to the mileage based off of those locations as well. Pick a spot. Where do you want to start?
Pick a spot. Yeah. The driver's mostly out, and I can read this off. They're operating in Iowa, Nebraska, Minnesota, Kansas, Missouri, yeah, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, and Kentucky. So those drivers, like I said, will be going to plant with a dedicated dry food, pet care, supplies, and it should be drop and hook. Deliveries are live unloads, and backhaul loads are mostly live loads. So on that note, I had written down that originally this was going to be an average of 7 to 10 or 12 to 14 days out, where these drivers would be getting home every other week for 2 or 3 days. But I'm under the impression that there are some areas, some drivers are going to be getting home weekly. And like I mentioned earlier, that weekly requirement is an unspoken expectation that they will be out for 5 consecutive days in a row. There are a lot of options when it comes to home time for this dry van opportunity. And you were going to cover, Jesse, the differences?
I'm going to let you go ahead and cover the the Midwest, one of the hiring areas, I guess. Why don't we focus first on this top part? You can kind of see the highlighted in yellow and the home time for that one.
Right. Okay. Yes. A lot of Chicago. Yes, I can see it now. A lot of Chicago. The home weekly options, as you can see, anywhere along I-80. I'm like pointing at my screen, like you can see what I can see. Along I-80 between Lincoln, Nebraska, and Gary, Indiana, and of course, I'm pointing again, a 50-mile radius around any of those major cities. A 25, 30-mile radius around either side of the interstates. So you can see the major roads and highways in and out of Chicago and Fort Wayne and Highway 30. Along Highway 30 from Gary, Indiana to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and into Fort Dodge, Iowa. Hartwell, Georgia, Anderson, South Carolina, Athens, Georgia, Greenville, South Carolina, St. Joe, Missouri, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Atlanta, Georgia. So many areas that we can get those drivers in and out of, but that home time is going to be a lot along Highway 30 and in and around the Chicago area.
Okay.
I'm sure I missed.
Yeah. So there. Yeah, there are a few others, few other hiring areas. I'm just going to go ahead and highlight these and show them off for you guys here. We've got around the Fort Wayne, like she had said, but you've got the Fort Dodge, you've got the Des Moines area, you've got, she likes to throw that Kansas City in there because that's her neck of the woods. So St. Joe as well, Lincoln, and Omaha, really along I-80 there is really strong. Got a lot around the Lincoln area, which is holding strong for us because a lot of the plant itself, especially with the pet food, is coming out of there. Next time we'll have Lisa on, and she'll give you a little bit of detail on, well, she calls herself the cat food hauler. And so we'll have some screenshots with her. Maybe she'll have a chance to interview with us this next time. But in addition to that, we have a few in the Southeast that Anna kind of hit upon, but a little bit. I do know Tanya loves to talk about the Southeast, so I'm going to give her the floor and while I bring up the map here and let her talk about what we've got available. She does. So there's a combination of weekly home time as well as every 2 weeks, like she was saying. Right. So all you, Tanya.
Yeah, the biggest areas around the Atlanta area, and then over across Interstate 20 to, Yeah, like you can see where I'm at, where I'm pointing to. Over to Augusta, up to Spartanburg, South Carolina. Those are mainly they're home every 2 weeks with those positions. There will be times that you will have to come up to the Midwest with this, because that's mainly where it's based out of. But hiring in this area, you will get home plenty. We have drivers that get back to Georgia quite a bit, South Carolina, and all along that line of, is it Interstate 85? So yeah, they do love this run, and they do keep busy. There's not a lot of sitting for these drivers. They're usually averaging between 2,300 to 2,500 miles, but I do know that there's an opportunity for more than that. And I have talked to some of the current drivers on it, and they have had pretty good luck with getting more miles than the 2,500. So if you're wanting to run, this is your division.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And the kind of the route that she was, I think you should have been able to see the map as she was talking about it.
Triangle-ish.
Yeah, it's kind of triangle-ish, but that's pretty much home every 2 weeks on that one. Mm-hmm. However, if you're looking at the Hartwell area, or if you live in the Hartwell area, you can pretty much get home on a weekly basis out of Hartwell, Georgia. That's kind of the prime territory, Midland, right there. I also wanted to kind of note with the home time and the miles that you'd be getting, like Tanya was saying, is right roughly around 2,400 a week. 2,500 is definitely reasonable in this position, and especially for those. I mean, we were talking about the weekly home time being around 23, 24. If you're staying out the 2 weeks, if you're living in other areas of Georgia besides Hartwell, and you can still choose to stay out 2 weeks. But if you're in one of those areas that you're out 2 weeks at a time or so, then 25 is definitely what you'd be looking at, a minimum of 2,500 for the week. That's over, remember, you got the guarantee of $1,000, but that's over 1,300 in most of our pay package. Right. So you're looking at a good income, knowing that 10 cents per mile is per diem, so it's not taxed. It cuts a big chunk off of it that's taxed, and so not as much is going to be coming out of your paycheck each week. But I'm sure I was going somewhere with that besides the per diem, but I don't know. Right. But the Hartwell, Georgia, is a home time, great miles, lots of consistency. I can't share that enough.
Dependable freight, correct.
Mm-hmm.
What you said.
And you're going to be doing it in style. I mean, we've got the equipment. Do we not, Anna? What do we got?
We have such pretty trucks. And I know as a professional driver that a pretty truck is the most important, right? Anyways, the trucks are fully stocked. We truly believe that we are driven to be the best, and it is your home away from home. So the trucks do come with APU, inverter, very important. We want you to be warm in the winter and cool in the summer and happy SAC year round. We do have refrigerators and microwaves. We just added the flat screen TV, 32-inch if I'm correct, and Epic View. So there's satellite TV that Decker provides for our drivers. That's all paid for. That has the HBO, the Showtime, Sunday Ticket, and who knows what else. Honestly, if you, the driver, want to purchase additional packages for that Epic View, you can. We also have the capacity for Sirius Radio. We know that a lot of drivers already have that and simply want to transfer it over or make sure that they can start a new subscription. Sirius Radio, it's kind of nice to have. We have the Wi-Fi through the GeoTab. We were with the Qualcomm through Omnitrax, and now we're going to the GeoTab through TransFlow. So Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, just really, really nice. And Decker tries all the time to update and give the drivers what it is that they're asking for. One of the things was the passenger seat and the driver's seat. What do I want to call that? I can't think of the
air ride.
Thank you. Air ride. Yes, absolutely. So COVID did get in the way, but truth be told, we are listening to the drivers and taking their advice. at face value, we are in the process of getting all of our Peterbilts into the double bunk, ultra loft, extended fairing, and important with the cool ladder and the chrome catwalk. And the important thing is the chrome license plate cover. So our truck's really nice, pretty snazzy. They come with a seat belt, blinker fluid. They're really good-looking trucks. What more could a driver want? I don't have Epic View in my office. I'm a little jealous, to tell you the truth. Nice trucks.
Yes, but there's, that's not everything. The amenities are awesome. They're sweet. We're very, very proud of them. We're proud of the trucks in general. We take pride. Literally, we have a campaign called Take Pride in Your Ride, where when you're going in, you're getting your work done on the truck and stuff. We've got that inspection, making sure that everything is up to par. And plus, last year, Cindy and Todd, I believe, it was Cindy and Todd, weren't they, that won the $500 gift card?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plus, there's gift cards along the way as well that you're winning by that. But yeah, that's one of the campaigns. But like the companionship that you have when you're out on the road, that can be just as important to some people as the equipment.
Yeah, I think the rider policy is one of the best policies that we have. You're limited to one rider at a time. They have to be between the ages 10 and 69, and it's just $25 a month that they ride. So, and that can be approved from, depending on your safety score, your MVR, all that good stuff. That can be approved from day one, and then you can have that rider after you're done with orientation. You can have your rider hop in your truck and be on your way. So I think it's great for kids during the summer when they get to that age. They can see the country, and it's a great educational.
Yeah, seatbelt.
Air raid seats.
That's a like. Go ahead,
Believe
Tanya.
me, that is important. No, it's all good. The air raid seats in the passenger seat is a very important thing. We also have our pet policy, and it's limited right now. They did increase it to, you can have 2 smaller dogs, or you can have 1 bigger dog that weighs up to 85 pounds. 2 smaller dogs equal 80, is it 80 pounds?
Right.
40 pounds.
40 pounds. Right.
And then there is a $750 deposit with that. But there's some that they can take out of your check. There's some that they put into an escrow just in case the truck has to be cleaned. The driver does have to purchase car seats or seat covers, oh my goodness, seat covers to go over the seats just to protect them from the dog's nails and fur and all that good stuff. So it's to get your dog approved, we just need copy of their shot records, immunization records for the last 2 years, most currently the current one, a picture of the dog so we can see that, and then a copy signed authorization from the pet policy. And then
the important thing is pictures. Pictures. You can send me pictures of your dog if you want to. I will help. It doesn't matter if your recruiter's another recruiter. Just send those pictures. Puppies are people too, and so.
And not, unfortunately, oh, go ahead.
No, I can't imagine why anybody wouldn't want to just stop us right here and say, apply, how can I apply, get me started, and when can I begin? So I was excited about a puppy.
Unfortunately, not every dog can be approved to come in. There are some limitations to the pet policy. No aggressive breeds, no Rottweilers, no Pit Bulls, any terriers or anything like that. So nothing that has an aggressive disorder to them. So we like to keep our drivers safe, keep other drivers safe, and
right. They also represent the drivers and their puppies represent. So
those pups, they can definitely be protective of the trucks.
No matter what their size is.
Yes,
True.
Exactly.
How can your dog apply?
Very, very
I mean, how
true.
can your driver?
How? While you're talking about that, I'm going to show. We've got one of our drivers, Dustin. He sent in a video of him and his dog playing. I'm sorry, but I've got to show it. You'll be thankful. No. But how do they apply it? There you go. How do you apply, Anna?
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that cute? Well, they would start out by making a phone call, contacting a recruiter, going to our website, drivedecker.com or deckertruckline.com, fill out the full application. Keep in mind that we do require a current, recent, valid CDL Class A license, and we really do want 10 whole years of your working history, both driving and non-driving. And as soon as you, the driver, have a confirmation number, then you know that that application is going to one of our fabulous recruiters. And I personally, when I get one of those applications, I do a little happy dance, celebrate, and then call the driver to see what it is that the driver's looking for, how soon do they want to get started, and how can we get that process moving and shaking. The other requirements as far as qualifications, I mean, there are so many. Tanya, I asked, when Tanya was my processor, when I first started, I would call her up and be like, what? They have to be over 21 and they have to, what do they, Tanya, what all do they need to be qualified or don't need?
We like to have a clean driving record.
Right.
No accident. I mean, we understand there's going to be an accident or two. If it's preventable, we need to make sure that there was no rollovers, there was no towaways or anything like that. Even if it's in your personal vehicle, that still goes against your CDL. A lot of drivers don't realize that, but it does go. No DUIs. You can have at least one accident in the last 3 years if it's preventable. No major moving violations like speeding 15 miles an hour over. That's a huge problem. Really, there's no reason to go that fast over the speed limit. At least that's my opinion.
Right.
It's just dangerous.
Right.
And then my mind is just gone blank.
Right. We're hoping that you have not started your life of crime and have no intention to start your life of crime. And honestly, that list of what we can work with and not work with is pretty long. So like Tanya was alluding to, just give us a call and ask us. We can tell you case by case scenario, have no fear. If there's something we can do, or if we can petition for you to be an exception to the rule or apply for probation. Tanya did that.
And if there is some reason that you've had your life of crime and you're over that, there is a certain time limit that we can work with. So just give us a call and ask us.
Absolutely. And experience-wise, this has recently been, recently been updated. So we've opened the doors to PTDI certified students, recent graduates, I should say. Let me rephrase that. Recent graduates of a PTDI certified school. So PTDI, you can find out if your school is certified by going to ptdi.org. It stands for Professional Truck Driver Institute, I think.
Right.
But yes, that's the close.
Professional Truck Driving Institute.
Yep. So that's the ptdi.org is the certification. The recent certification is what would qualify you to go through our training program, which is a brand new opportunity for you. It does encompass about 4 weeks total of between training and orientation. Going out with a trainer could be a couple of weeks. You've got the in-house or the local, in Fort Dodge training. All orientation is in Fort Dodge. But before I jump to the orientation, and now you know whether or not you're qualified, if you have a minimum of 3 months of experience, you won't need to go through the training. But otherwise, you get your application in.
Absolutely. Once you have that application in, we will go through your application with a fine-tooth comb, do what we can to help you get the documentation necessary. Often it's a copy of your license or a copy of your med card, a copy of your certificate of graduation. If you do have a ticket or an accident, do you have a copy of the accident report? It's a lot of document, get our ducks in a row. And usually it takes 24 to 48 hours for an application to be processed. I mean, there are, of course, extenuating circumstances. For instance, if a driver is under contract with another company, we can do it. We hire under contract all the time. It simply takes a little bit longer. Usually we, again, get the application, order your documents, send you to processing, do what we can to get you approved yesterday, and then give you, the driver, the option to pick a Monday or a Wednesday, come to orientation and see what's going to work out best for you. It's a pretty quick and fairly painless process. Do you
And what's
agree?
really nice is that once you, if you come directly here from your truck driving school, the PTDI school, we can help you with tuition reimbursement up to $6,000. As long as you have all your paperwork, you bring that in with you to orientation, we can help that get started to help you pay that back.
Forgot about that.
Yep. It pays back about $200 a month until you hit that 6,000. Although 6,000 isn't what it costs in many cases.
Right.
But yeah, up to. So once you finish that application process, go ahead.
They pay the driver directly, and it's up to the driver to pay the school. So driver's responsibility.
Right. Correct.
Yeah. Good point. I'm glad you added that. Once you've completed the application process and you know you're approved, then the next step is to get situated for orientation. Orientation is definitely new to us, or at least this process of orientation is new to us. We've opened up the opportunity where you can be part of an online orientation followed by the in-person orientation in Fort Dodge. So it's a combination of the two. So first off, when you are approved, you'll be given a link to our Luma training, which is our online orientation training. You can see, hopefully you can see the link here representing our Luma training. It's eNugget Learning Center. And then you'll log into that. And once you've completed that process, then you will go ahead, as well as the online, the Luma training, you also have the Clearinghouse. A lot of you have already done the Clearinghouse. You might be very familiar with it, but it's the Fmcsa Clearinghouse that was started on the 6th of January in 2020, putting all of the drug and alcohol results from all drivers, all companies into one resource, and that's what the Clearinghouse is. Sounds like you won $1 million, but unfortunately, it's just the Fmcsa Clearinghouse.
Fmcsa, yeah.
You won the Clearinghouse to be drug-free.
And so that's, once you've registered for that, you've done the online orientation. If you have a recent physical, we might be able to use that. So that's something you'll talk to your recruiter about to see if we can get the long form for it and get it approved. If it's not a recent physical and you've got, but you still have 6 months on it, or let me rephrase it. If it's not a recent physical and it has less than 6 months less on it, there you go, then it wouldn't qualify you to use. So we would just get you an updated physical. Then you don't have to worry about it once you're here anyway. So we'll schedule you for a physical and the urinalysis, the DOT urinalysis ahead of time. Getting those things done before orientation saves you a lot of time. It takes about, roughly 2 days to get your physical or your drug and alcohol results back from the urinalysis. And so having that done ahead of time makes it just makes orientation go by faster. And that's why the in-person orientation is only 2.5 days, roughly, of course, for this Midwest van division. But physical, urinalysis, drug and alcohol clearinghouse, online orientation, with all of that completed, that'll earn you an extra $100 bonus on top of the $500 that you receive for orientation pay. So, you know what, there's a bit of an incentive. Besides the fact that you got orientation quicker, it's a bit of an incentive to get that completed ahead of time. We'll set you up for transportation.
My most important thing before a driver comes to orientation, if you have any existing health problems or take any medication, make sure, first of all, that you bring that medication with you. If you have sleep apnea, make sure that you have a copy of your last 3 months of readings for your sleep machine. It's just really simple to go to the doctor's office, get a printout, or they even have apps that you can get printouts. Make sure if you're diabetic, make sure you get a copy of your A1C and make sure that it's current. So you're within DOT guidelines. If you bring all that with you, orientation is going to go a lot more smoothly because we do have to have that information in your file before you can head out onto the road and be released to drive.
I'd like to piggyback on that. I'm interrupting. Tanya, one of the things that I think will make orientation go so much more smoothly is something that we recently introduced. It's called our expectation form, expectation questionnaire. And it is a conversation that you have first with your recruiter where you have the opportunity to go over some of those things that this is what I think you should bring to orientation with you. Do you have any last minute questions or concerns? Have you signed up for the Fmcsa Clearinghouse? Did you finish your Luma? How may I help to make sure that this is the most smooth process and to have everything just flow and get you into a truck doing what it is that you do best? This expectation form then turns into a conversation starter with your dispatcher, which again really gets exactly what it is you as the driver are expecting. That's why we called it the expectation form, as well as what it is that's required of you and how can we just make that transition so smooth. One of the other things that I wanted to touch on earlier, so I'm glad you're letting me interrupt, is something called a repayment agreement. And we really do want to make this transition so smooth for you that we don't want you to have to worry or be frustrated or upset about really anything when it comes to orientation. We are going to pay you $250 per day plus that extra $100 that Jesse and Tanya both mentioned. We give you a room of your own. We provide all of your meals. I mean, it's not living high on the, anyways, we're pinching pennies too, but you won't starve by any stretch. We do make sure that we provide your transportation, get you a rental car or an airline ticket. Every once in a while we get someone who will beg or plead for a bus ticket or a train ticket, but you're drivers. For the most part, you want a rental car. On that note, everything that Decker will spend in investing in getting our drivers to orientation, it's well below the national average. Other companies, it's all the way up to $2,000 that companies will invest in getting drivers to orientation. Here at Decker, again, we are pinching pennies. We're aware of a budget, and that agreement goes away completely, disappears at 6 months. Every month that you work for Decker, $100 of that just magically is gone. And the average, again, is about $600. It does entail the cost of your hotel room, the cost of your transportation, the rental car. We go through Enterprise and get an awesome deal. The meals, the cost of your physical, if that's necessary. So there are several things that are involved, fall under that repayment agreement, but we sincerely are hoping that you are staying with Decker for more than 6 months. It's kind of a hire to retire thing. Again, called an agreement, not a contract. If something happens and you do need to leave Decker, we're not going to stop you from getting another job. We just really want you to be aware that we are investing in you, and we really hope that you will stay with Decker for the rest of, well, until you retire. So again, ladies, thanks for letting me interrupt. What were you going to say, Jesse, before I was so rude?
I was just going to kind of give you the information that happens during orientation itself. So like you had said, we'll set you up for transportation. We take care of your hotel while you're here. We've already taken care of the physical and your analysis. But when you are in orientation, the physical orientation in Fort Dodge, Iowa, then you'll also do both your hair follicle and the PCE. PCE is like, well, physical capacity evaluation. So like range of motion, resistance. So that testing, and then you'll meet with, like Anna said, you'll meet with your driver manager, go through that expectation form. Things that he'll make sure that you are well aware of is, yeah, there's some night driving. Be aware of that. Know what our equipment is. Make sure that you have all of the details on the equipment, which, like we said, full range of details there for you. All pretty much anything you can think of for amenities. What else? You'll have like a concierge that'll work right with you during orientation. Katie is fantastic, and you'll deal with her directly. She'll walk through the truck with you when you're inspecting it, making sure that it's up to standards. Also, speaking of truck, if you are a smoker or a non-smoker, those are details that we want to know.
Right.
Because again, it's making sure that you're comfortable in the truck, making sure that you the amenities that you need. If you need the freedom to smoke in the truck, you're in a smoking truck, so you can do that. If you're in a non-smoking truck because that's your comfort level, or you're a non-smoker and so you need a non-smoking truck because that's your comfort level, then absolutely, I completely understand that. So we want to make sure that we're accommodating and hearing you out whenever you need us. But the orientation process, as I keep bouncing back from it, the orientation process is only about 2.5 days. You get dispatched out as soon as you've completed it. You've got your orientation pay on that com data card that Anna was talking about. If for some reason you needed additional training, we had that opportunity available to you at that point. But we get you dispatched out, start making some money, like you were saying, Annie. You know, your rate of pay per mile and the miles that you're running. After that, it's home time is going to be based off of what you've already agreed with the recruiter and what the driver manager has confirmed that they could do for you. And then, of course, coming right out of orientation, you might not get directly home out of orientation, and that's understandable because Fort Dodge is not a huge community, and so not a million different options coming out of Fort Dodge at a time.
Right.
But it's not far from from the plants. And so we'll be able to get you towards home pretty darn quick and get you on that schedule that you had been promised.
Right.
So, yeah, and then, you know, like I kind of stepped on toes there. I kind of went a little bit overboard with the assigning of trucks and stuff like that. But have I missed anything, Tanya? The
one thing
and stuff.
The one thing I do like that they have started is the driver art program, that each person coming out of orientation is assigned someone to check in with them every week. Check in with them every week for the first month, and then for the second and third month, it's every other week, just to make sure that that driver is doing okay. If they have any questions or concerns or complaints, we're there to listen to these drivers and get it to the right people so it can be taken care of.
Right.
And I do love that program.
It is awesome. It was started by Patrice, who is one of our safeties. He works with the Smart Drive more directly, and he himself has been an owner-operator, been a company driver for many years, and just really understands the need for that help, that transition through coming.
It's definitely, it's a lot better than having, if you know somebody's in your corner and you get frustrated, it's a lot better than just quitting and walking out the door. You have somebody to walk it through with you and is going to listen to your issues, make sure that they are taken care of.
The culture here at Decker is a family culture, just all together. But we have become even more focused on our driver needs and our driver culture, and I don't even know what word I want to put onto this one. So Anna's the queen of words, but just making sure that you are well aware as a professional driver that you are the number one. You are why this company works. You are why we each have a job that we're very proud of and get to be part of this on a daily basis. But we need to make sure that we support you. And our focus is to give you that support, whether we're a recruiter on the initial end or we're a recruiter and helping you to recruit another driver, or you were, maybe you were trying to reach our 24/7 maintenance support, but didn't have the number handy, so you called us. We're here to make sure that you are getting the help you need, no matter where you're at in the process. You could be here 10 years. You can be here 10 days. Yeah, we're here. We're available to you. Now, we are not the all when it comes to the recruiting. Your driver manager is your main contact. You're going to get to know them well and build great rapport with them, a great relationship where you be able to rely on each other and help each other out when you need it. And those are the relationships that we're so proud of here, because we work with each other. We encourage. You've got the support to help you get those bonuses, get the additional incentives, and if you want to share a video of you and your dog playing on your downtime, we love those things, and that's because of the relationships we've built with the individuals. I use Dustin as an example, one, because you just saw his video, but his recruiter, he and his recruiter are such good friends that will bounce off ideas off of each other. And when Dustin runs into it, and he'll get people coming to him all the time asking him about Decker. And he's throwing him over to Bryce and saying, you know what, talk to this guy. He will just give you straight, knowing that you have somebody there that will flat out give you the straight, direct answer on whatever it is that you're needing is reassuring. But it's not just the recruiters. You've got your driver managers, you've got safety, you've got your art ambassador that Tanya was talking about. There's
and
so
I think
much
that's what's different about our company is that with our recruiters, we don't just tell you anything just to get you in the door.
Right.
It's the facts. That's what we tell you. That's what we're given. That's what we sell you. So there's no bumping up the pay and, oh, you're going to start out at this month much, but then it comes down to that. Companies that do that just give recruiters a bad name. Right. And so those are the things that we have to deal with on a daily basis of trying to make up for the bad recruiters and making sure that these drivers know that, hey, we're actually truthful.
That misconception, yeah, absolutely. Well, not every company is for every driver, and not every driver is for every company. So it's so important that we can have that conversation and find out in advance, are you going to be a good fit for us, and vice versa. So, yes. Jesse, Tanya?
Yeah, good question. Tanya made a good point, too. She said something, and I don't think we addressed it. So just kind of backtracking or whatever, but you said this is what you'll be starting off. Did we even tell you that you get a penny raise after 90 days? Because you do.
I don't think we
did. A penny raise on 90 days and on your anniversary. And
Every
you'll continue to get it on your anniversary. Yep, until you hit the cap. Now, cap right now is at 60, but remember that cap does not include any of your bonuses. So you can make up to 65 cents a mile right now. Well, to be honest, if you're going to break it down into the nitty gritty and talk about accessory pay and all that, 75,000 is definitely a doable number. That is not a pie in the sky. That is probably average right now. Looking at all the pay increases that we've had, all of the incentives, and we've had these incentives for a while, but just seeing the number. So letting you in on another secret that hasn't been brought out yet. Last month we paid a record bonus of over $82,000 in just the Smart Drive and Scorecard. That's right. That is right. This month we almost hit that same record, right at the 79 point something, but we did have a few brand new 1,000-point scorecard winners, which is fantastic.
It should be.
And yes. So we're seeing progress. And once you've made it once, I think was it Tanya or Anna that said once you hit it once, you're more likely to get it. You understand what it takes.
It's obtainable. It's reachable.
Yeah. We just ask that you guys reach out to us. If you have a question, reach out. Get the answer directly. If you want to talk to one of our drivers, definitely feel free to talk to one of our drivers. They will hopefully give you it straight out just as we would. But to talk to a recruiter directly, you just dial it up, 888-668-0698. And you can you can also apply online, if I was going with that, directly at drivedecker.com. In the upper right-hand corner, it says apply now. That's the secret button. That'll give you that Intelli app, which I do know you guys like the convenience of the Intelli app to kind of autofill for you. Get it over to us, but honestly, talk to one of the recruiters. Give us a call. Make sure that it's a good fit. Sometimes you can tell by just talking to someone that, you know what, I just have a really good feeling about this company, or I feel like this is legit and that this is going to be a good fit. We want that reassurance too, because we can feel it on the phone just as much as you can. If you're going to be a good fit for the company and our driver managers are going to be able to get you what you want, that expectation form is going to be fulfilled. Right on. Let's do this. Let's move forward. Apply at drivedecker.com and call us 888-668-0698. Ladies, am I missing anything? Any other questions, concerns that you think might
I
out
don't
there?
think so.
I think you did
I
great.
think we touched on a lot.
All right. Well, you know how to get a hold of us. For more information, check out our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com. You know what? Let's just cheat and give you a little visual here. Every week we do a Q&A on our Facebook page, facebook.com/DTL Inc. So every week we do that, and then every Tuesday at noon Central we do a live on our YouTube channel as well. So if you just want to go ahead and hop on, you'll be able to see our channels here. This is our social media. We do a weekly podcast on Anchor. So you'll be able to access our podcast there, and that'll give you a bunch of details as well. Get to know the family. But yeah, check us out. See if it's a good fit for you guys. I appreciate you taking the time. If there is,
and the newest one that's not on there is TikTok.
Oh, that's
true,
cool, yeah.
True. Yep.
Good problem.
But Tanya can't tell you that I'm yeah.
We're not very good at it yet. It's still a work in progress.
Good problem to have. Right.
So speaking of, let's
it's like teaching old dogs new tricks.
Hey, what are you saying? I feel like she's trying to tell me something here.
No, I'm the old one. I'm the one that's trying to be taught new tricks.
I was trying to get a lot better than this at this that I am, and I'm not a long ways to go. So let's see if I can flip this camera around. There we go. So there's my team.
Yay!
Hello.
Yay!
Going live. There we go. See, aren't you glad that you were part of that, you guys? Tanya always has to remind me.
Yes, I can't wait to see you later.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Good. All right, you guys, I appreciate you taking the time. We did go over our time, but we want to make sure we're thorough and then you don't have questions. And the nice thing is that you can replay it, you can pause us, come back to it, and when you have more time, you can go back through and make sure you got the information right. But you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you maybe Monday for our Facebook Live, or maybe even Tuesday at noon Central for our YouTube Live. Q&As both days. Get to join in with some of our professional drivers, and we may get off key a few times, but it's sure fun.
It is fun.
Check out our Facebook page.
Definitely
We'll be releasing the new podcast come tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday.
Okay, tomorrow's Thursday.
All right, you guys, you have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay safe, and talk to you next week.